Hi, guys, and welcome to Tailored Talk. Now, this is an unpopular subject, and it's one that MMA fans will tut and bitch and moan at and roll their eyes over. But this video is going to be about Amanda Nunes. She's the GOAT. She's the former featherweight and bantamweight champion. She's the best to ever do it. Award-winning, hurricane, force of nature, women's pioneer. She's done it all. Now, Amanda Nunes was the main event of UFC 289, which has just gone and was in Canada. And as the GOAT, she gained more spotlight than ever. Her training camp, the countdown, press conferences, the fight, everything else. And every step of the way for Amanda Nunes on social media, from the announcement of the fight, to the press conferences, to the training, to the embedded, putting your gloves on, testing out your gloves, photo shoots, media, everything. Throughout every step of the way, there's one thing that becomes really apparent through the social media comments concerning Amanda. And that is throughout the whole process, from the day she signs the contract to the day Dana wraps the belt around her waist. And that is the blatant misogyny and homophobia. Like the attacks about her looks also, but the blatant homophobia from fans, comments shitting on her sexuality, blatant disgusting homophobic comments, comments about her relationship with fellow fighter Nina Ansaroff, or if they can stomach her sexuality, there are fans that can tolerate her sexuality and tolerate the fact that she's gay, tolerate the fact that she's with Nina, stomach the fact that she's a lesbian, but don't like the fact that she's married to a woman. And this woman that, like, homophobic MMA fans like to talk about Nina like she's flavor of the month. But Nina Ansaroff is Amanda's legal wife. Nina and Amanda have been together since 2015. And there's a lot of homophobic comments about how Amanda shouldn't be bringing Nina to cage side. How disrespectful it is that Amanda brings her partner to the cage, despite the fact that Nina is one of her coaches and has been for years. And some MMA fans say that she shouldn't have kids with her wife, that they shouldn't be introducing children to her lifestyle. And it's just really weird. Like, the homophobic part of the MMA fan base is really odd, because they permit Amanda and Nina to date, some of them, but they just don't want Nina and Amanda having kids, because they're constantly saying, well, how is her daughter Reagan going to cope without a father figure? It shouldn't be Adam and Steve, it's Adam and Eve. Amanda should be with a man. Some fans, not all, some MMA fans are homophobic and misogynistic as hell. And it shows with the treatment and the constant homophobia of Amanda Nunes, and what she has to go through on social media. So I'm going to bring up the Dana White situation, and then, give him a compliment at the end. But I'm going to talk about it. Some MMA fans have no problem with Dana White and the slapping his wife issue. Dana White hit his wife, and then before she's even pulled off the floor, he's promoting the Power Slap League on social media everywhere, and fans were quick to forgive him. And maybe that's because he was like so open about it. Yes, she did hit him first. Yes, he admitted that he was wrong, but people were bending over backwards to defend his behavior. MMA fans are always too quick to forgive fighters. Now, I'm talking about a separate issue with abusive fighters. Fans are always quick to forgive John Jones every time because he's pumped full of steroids and he pops like Pringles every fight. And fans bend over backwards to forgive him because they claim that he's the GOAT. Every time John Jones is involved in some kind of domestic incident that had his daughter having to call the police, fans are constantly defending his ass every single time. Now, is anybody going to talk about the alleged violent, alleged drug addicted, incoherent train wreck that is now called Conor McGregor? Fans constantly dick ride appalling straight role models into the sunset and throw these egomaniacs your money purely because they're straight and nothing more. Now, I'm going to take Dana White out of this equation. The troubled men that I've just mentioned, John Jones and Conor McGregor, both have families. But MMA fans constantly dismiss this. They constantly try to, present these men as husbands and father of the year. And MMA fans handle these distressing, problematic men with kid gloves and sympathy. While they have these same fans are extremely homophobic towards Amanda, they constantly shit on Amanda Nunes and her family, dehumanize her every chance they get, talk crap about her sexuality and her parenting skills, which they know nothing about. MMA homophobes will watch Rousey get jabbed to hell. They'll watch Cyborg get KO'd, face planted on the ground for the first time, and watch Felicia Spencer stumbling around bloody on one leg for 25 minutes with incompetent Herb Dean, one of the worst referees in the business, and cheer Amanda on. But these same homophobic MMA fans will lose their shit and cry in a ball in the corner because Amanda has a wife and child. It's completely insane. So Amanda has a wife and child, so you need to lose your shit. Amanda has a wife and kid, just like you, just like your neighbor next door, just like your best friend. What is wrong with Amanda Nunes having a wife and a child just like everybody else? And MMA fans as a whole, and the MMA community as a whole, wonder why a current active MMA male fighter on the roster hasn't come out yet. I mean, is it any wonder with the community that MMA has? I mean, would anybody come out to this hellfire and brimstone incel viper pit of an MMA community? Would you, if you were gay and in the closet, would you come out in MMA? I don't think so. Now, I did watch Amanda's fight, beating the shit out of Irene Aldana, like she usually does. You know how Amanda does it. I know that she's the GOAT. I saw her interview. I know she's retired. I know she's a family woman now. I know that this conversation may not be relevant anymore because she's not going to be an active fighter anymore. But in the MMA community, she does get a lot of the homophobia, the misogyny, and the attitude that Nunes gets from so-called fans. People that call themselves fans of the sport. People that call themselves Nunes fans. People that shout from the rooftops that she's the GOAT. A lot of the homophobic treatment that she gets is disgusting. Fans have always made fun of Amanda's looks and her desirability. And they've always tried to gatekeep and manipulate her sexuality and control it the way that she dominates her divisions. MMA homophobes tell Amanda what she can and can't do to make themselves feel comfortable, and it's deplorable. Homophobia really does need to end. It's never going to stop, but it really does need to stop in MMA because it's just unfair to so many athletes, and Amanda is the GOAT, and it shows that even Amanda isn't shielded, isn't protected, and can't escape the misogyny and the homophobia, and that is very depressing. You know, Amanda is the GOAT. She has been for years. She will be, even in the future, even as she's retired, she will always be the GOAT for me and for some people. But because of a lot of things, the misogyny and the homophobia within the MMA community, even when she was crowned the champ, even when she was crowned the double champ, she's never been really treated like the GOAT. And, you know, homophobic and misogynistic fans need to realize that Amanda Nunes has and will, she's always deserved better. And maybe she'll get one step closer to being treated like a human being now that she's retired. Okay, guys, that's the end of the vid. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.